Okay, if everything is working correctly, good evening ladies, gentlemen and Xenos of all ladies, and welcome to another Tactica Imperialis live stream. It's AoS 2 reveal day. We got the release date, the pre-order date, the box set preview, so much stuff. So much stuff. I can't even explain how much stuff we've got for AoS 2. And I want to go through all that stuff, talk about it with all of you guys, and all of that good stuff, because I can make a video on it. I probably might still make a video on it once we get a look at the Sacrosanct Chamber stuff. But, oh boy. Oh boy. I wanted to do a stream tonight because, well, of course I do. This is really good stuff and I want to talk about it. Just gonna close that down because it's apparently crashed. So yeah, everything should be working. Well, I hope it is. If there's any issues with sound or anything else, let me know and we'll get them, well, I'll attempt to get them sorted as quickly as possible. Yeah. It's been a rather impressive day today, I have to say, between booking I've actually had a really good day myself anyway, because I booked my flights home today, so I now have an official date and a plan for when I'm back in England, which is lovely, and everything's lined up perfectly so that AoS 2 will basically be on my doorstep as I walk in the front door back in England. It's all worked out kind of beautifully by complete fluke. So yeah, that's good. That's really good. So that's obviously good, getting that all locked in, and I can start planning for packing how I'm going to get the army home, and I can just do everything else really, because, well, I think I've made it quite clear this year has not been my favourite year, so it'll be good to get it over and done with. And bloody hell, it is warm in here. It's 2 showers weather. That is that warm. It's 2 showers a day weather. Bloody hell. Is everything working? I mean, there's people here. Okay. A little bit quiet. Usually the usual suspects are a little bit louder than that. Give me a sec. Okay. Don't know if chat's bugged out. Nope, doesn't seem like chat's bugged out. Okay. Wasn't sure if chat had bugged out because because usually the usual suspects are a little bit, just like jump in, hi, and start talking immediately, so I wasn't sure. Yeah, I can imagine like it's a bit of a thing at the minute. There's a bit of a heat wave going on like across most of Europe by the sounds of it. Thankfully, I've actually had a lightning storm now since there was a full-on lightning storm Saturday night. I think I heard a few rumbles of thunder yesterday, but I didn't see any lightning, and I don't think there's been much rain. Oh no, I think there was a spell of rain. So yeah, it is just, it's just not pleasant weather. Oh good, it's not good. Okay, good. Just wasn't sure. Just wanted to confirm that everything was working as I thought it was working, because sometimes if things just don't work and I don't know why, I can't fix them. Or even attempt to fix them, not that I could probably fix them anyway. But anyway, that's another topic for another time. Anyway, so yeah, if everything seems to be working as planned, that is grand. So yeah, I don't know if there's anything people want to just start with, line signals up or something. To be honest, weather around here, apparently this time of year, is usually kind of thunderous. There's a lot of storms because it's really... The word we use in Britain to describe the weather right now is muggy. I don't know if that's a phrase you use in other parts of the world. I don't know if that translates to other languages or whatever, but it's really, really muggy. So like, it's just humid and hot. There's no wind chill at all. And then the weather just breaks into massive rainstorms punctuated with cracks of lightning, which you'd think would sort of dissipate the humidity, which is what, I don't know if it's actual science, I haven't really studied meteorology, but the sort of theory goes that when you get this muggy weather, you just wait for a storm to break, and that sort of clears it. But that doesn't happen here because you get stupid hot in the day, like almost unworkable conditions hot, and then it just cracks at night, and you get bits of rumbles of thunder throughout the day. Sometimes you get a bit of lightning at night, but then it's the same conditions again the next day. So it's just unpleasant. Sigmar is up to something, but it's not my weather. Yeah, you need a proper like full-on storm to clear it. Or at least that's always. I don't know if that is just superstition, but that's just the way it seems to always work out. But anyway, I want to check something. Okay, so I can't even watch my own stream, which is odd. Nighthorns looks amazing. Faulty blob with ignores rend and bravery 10. All right, yeah. I don't know if people want me to start with the Nighthorns models, or if people want me to start with the AoS 2, like Soul Wars reveal. So I don't really mind where we start. I'm going to cover both in the stream. But if you would rather I start with looking at the Nighthorns models before we dive into like the box set, Malign Sorcery, the General's Handbook, and the probably hour-long discussion that comes with that, I can start talking about Nighthorns. I don't really mind in what order we do everything. Weather. Like, I'm not a warm weather person. I'm not a cold weather. I'm more of a cold weather person. But yeah. All right, models first. All right, models first. That'll do. Okay, let me just get everything set up because I didn't think that's where we were going to start. So faction focus. Nighthorns Part 2. And no, couldn't see anything past it. Wasn't sure if it crashed. Hasn't crashed. Lovely. So yes, the cat's out the bag, as GW puts it. For this new Stormcast chamber, I really don't dislike them. I think they look really, really good for the most part. I'm not a huge fan of what are they called? The Castigators, the crossbow noob tubers. I'm not so keen on those guys, but I love the Lord Arcana model. I love the, I think the Sequitors are pretty cool, though the weapons are a little bit wonky. The Evocators I really quite like, although the poses are a little bit wonky. The Knight Incantors, they're alright. I'm really curious to see what that hero is, or the cavalry thing, so I do want to have a look at that. And the Celestial Ballista looks bonkersly awesome, and it combos well with the Lord Ordinator, and okay, fine, good. So yeah, generally feelings are good, but obviously need to see their rules. Hopefully we'll get those tomorrow, just to give a bit of an insight. So a new era is beginning for the Nighthorns as they're developed into a fully fledged faction. And there's a little bit of lore on them in the Soul Wars reveal article. These aren't just random dudes resurrected again. These are like evil resurrected people. So these are evil souls brought back by Nagash to do more evil stuff. So you don't need to sympathize with them. So yeah, just like straight off the bat, the army looks great. The army really, really does look great. I've talked about most of these models in my thoughts on AoS 2 because they were all revealed before. So you've got the Blind Reapers, the Not Ghosts of Remlays, the Mounted Knight of Shrouds looks amazing. You've got the Lord Executioner at the back. There's some new Banshee models we got to see in the other article. The Spirit Torment, which is horrifically scary for me. The Chain Rasp Hordes at the back. We'll see their War Scroll in a minute. Some really cool stuff in here. Guardian of Souls. I can't quite remember the Nighthorns unit games the same way I remember everything else. I know most names, but I don't know all the names. So the Guardian of Souls, who basically just needs a head swap to look awesome. The deadbeat drummer. Yeah, that's not in this article, that's in the other one, but we'll get to that. So we get another look at the new fancy wall scrolls. I'm just going to, sorry chat, but bye. You're going to go off the screen for a minute. So, the Guardian of Souls is, you can't actually see it because it's a hero and it's a wizard, it's a malignant, so standard stuff really, just thought I'd make it clear exactly what the things are. And it's obviously flying, it's got move 6, 5 wounds, 4 up save, bravery 10, that's minus, that's not quite Stormcast hero stats, but it's almost Stormcast hero stats. It just needs an extra point of save, but it makes up for that because it has Ethereal, so it ignores Rend, but also ignores cover. It can fly, and its main ability is a buff. I'm not going to really count its weapon because it's got 3 Rend 1, 3 attacks, 3 Rend 1, damage 1. I mean, for a wizard, that's not bad. It's not great, but for a wizard, it's not terrible. The main thing is its Lantern. So add 1 to wound rolls for melee weapons for Nighthorns models within 9 inches. That's going to be really important, I think, because, well, flat buffs are always good. Flat buffs are never not good. So that is just a good ability. In terms of magic, it can cast 1 and bind 1, so that's sort of fine. I don't even need these in. Why have I got these in? And then its unique spell after Arcane Bot Mystic Shield is Spectral Lure. Casting value 6, pick a friendly summonable Nighthorns unit wholly within 18. So you can't really do this to a Horde unit unless you're really shadowing that Horde unit, but something you can definitely do. We don't know how many Nighthorns units are going to have summonable. You can either heal D6 wounds that have been allocated to that unit, or if no wounds have been allocated because they've only got 1 wound, so one of the dead, or whatever, you may return a number of slain models that have a combined wounds characteristic equal to or less than the roll of a d6. So it's a either healing spell or a resurrection spell, depending on the unit in question, cast on a 6. That's pretty good, because that'll do well for keeping your heroes topped up, or it will be good for keeping your Horde unit, because you do have a Horde unit, just keeping it going. Obviously for points we don't know yet. I'm guessing it'll be about 100 points because it's got a buff, it's got decent stats like Stormcast level hero stats, although its weapons are worse. So I think it'll be 100 to 120, sort of that region, would be my best guess. Not a bad weapon. That blade for the Rumor Engine. I might have to talk about that in a bit. Might take 2 in their army just so that more units are buffed. Buffs are also not in the army before, so this is a glorious universal buff. Yeah, we'll have to see what units it works best on. I'm thinking obviously the Horde unit is going to benefit from it a lot, but yeah, we shall see. Right, let's hop that off. So key support unit allows all nearby Nighthorns to wound more easily, so on and so forth, and yeah, just generally, you also have Spirit Host, so I'm assuming be your other battle line option. Maybe they'll be battle line if, we'll see. Then we have the Lord Executioner with the massive whack-off axe and the gallows and all of that sort of thing. It's a really cool model. So, bye again, chat. So again, Death, Malignant, Hero, Nighthorns, Name. Okay, nothing really of interest there. So no unique keywords or anything. It's not like a... why would he be a totem, but yeah. So, same actual stat line, so 6, 5, 4, 10. And his attacks is 3 attacks, 3s, rend 2, damage 1. Now, for a beat stick hero, because this model is completely a beat stick hero, that's very crap. That's very crap. 3 attacks, damage 1, rend 2. Oh, okay, rend 2 is exceptionally good. I'll rephrase that. Rend 2 is an exceptionally good thing to have. 3 attacks, 3s and 3s is not bad, but damage 1 on a hero you're probably paying 100 or more points for is just not good enough. However, he has the ability Beheading Strike. So if you get a wound roll of a 6 or more, add 2 for that attack. So that attack becomes damage 3. Now that is when this model becomes really, really good. So you'll probably want to combo this perhaps with your Guardian of Souls so that that ability triggers on a 5 up. So on average, one of your attacks should be damage 3. And Ren 2 damage 3, I think, is that Marathi level stats? I'm pretty sure that's Marathi level damage. If I remember heart rate, like transformed. Yeah, so at that point, you basically turn into a mini Marathi with Ren 2 damage 3, hitting on 3s, wounding on 3s. Admittedly, that's only got 3 or 4 wounds left, Marathi, but that's still very good damage output. In terms of his other abilities, so he ignores mortal wounds on a 5+, because that's sort of one of the ways you get around the fact that Nighthorns are ethereal. Okay, just chuck mortal wounds at them. Well, this guy says no a third of the time, which is nice. And then staring death in the face. Pick an enemy hero within 3 inches of this model in the combat phase. Subtract 1 for hit rolls made by that hero. This is a really good stall, or also just neutering. Like, neutering a hero for a round is good. Stalling for ages is even better. No need to apologize for being late. Hex rates are going to change. We'll see. Hard to say. If they just went to 4 per stack, they would be great. I'm assuming that's the buffs. Very underwhelmed. Yeah, like the Guardian of Souls, I think is going to be essential to take, but he's not like. Oh yeah, you get 2 buffs up on this guy. If you get 2 Guardians of Souls to trigger on this guy, that's a 4+. That's really, really good. But that's 3 heroes. 3 heroes on effectively wizards who just keep your models going, which is nice, but you don't have any output damage with them. And you have 1 beat stick, who's not really a beat stick. And at 1k points, that's it. 2k points, yeah, you've got a little bit more hero space. How much do you have? Well, we don't know. We'll see in the new handbook how much you've got. And then you'll have to just find a way to get a Knight of Shrouds in, or get the Mortark in, or get the guy on the throne in, or get the other Cthulhu thingy-mcjib, which I'm assuming is not the Mortark, in. Numbers are all a bit meh compared to Spirit Hosts. We'll get to the Chamber. Obviously, points are going to be important here, see how powerful they actually are, but it is something worth considering. Also, I'm going to get this off the screen now. Yeah, 2-rend, locking down, disembodied skulls. Yeah, it's just a good, it'll be a good stall unit. So the J-Ras Horde are actually, I'm assuming, your main battle line. So these guys are summonable, so can be healed, because, well, they can be healed by the spell, whereas the heroes can't be healed because they're not summonable. So, yeah. Oh, that's interesting. Right. Rerolls still work, right? Mystic Shield may be used. Mystic Shield would be usable to reroll 1s because you're ethereal. Maybe. Alright, bye chat. So the J-Ras Horde is move 6, 1 wound, 5 up save, bravery 6 with ethereal and fly, because everything has ethereal and can fly. Their leader has an additional attack and sends their bravery up to a massive 10. So I don't know if there's going to be a way to snipe out heroes. Because, snipe out unit leaders. Because at the moment, that basically translates to this unit is bravery 10 all the time. Like, what's the point of saying, oh, your unit's bravery 6, but if you take this leader who you can never be killed until he's the last guy, because you can just strategically remove until he's the last guy, why not just make them a flat bravery 10? Because it says it's a bravery characteristic all the time. It's not bravery 10 in the battle shock phase, which means they could be screwed around with. It's bravery 10 all the time. Like, what's the point? So in terms of weapons, they've got 2 attacks, 4s and 4s, no rend, damage 1. Okay. I mean, for a horde unit, not bad. For a horde unit, probably not terrible. And you reroll 1s to wound when you have more than 10 models. I'm assuming this unit's going to go up to like 40. We don't know what the maximum is. I think it's either going to be 40 or 50. That's the sort of usual thing for a horde unit. And at that point, 2 attacks, 4s rerolling 1s. Now, if you can get a Guardian of Souls on them, so they're 4s, 3s rerolling 1s, At that point, you've actually turned them into Daughters of Cain. Okay? So, for context, Witch Elves, in their basic form, are 2 attacks, 3s rerolling 1s, I think. Hang on, do they even reroll 1s anymore? They used to reroll 1s. Now they just have more attacks. Hang on a minute. Witch Elves, Witch Elves, Witch Elves, Witch Elves, Witch Elves. I need to remind myself because I'm so used to the way Witch Elves used to work, I've forgotten how they actually work. Nope, they don't have reroll 1s anymore. So yeah, 2 attacks, 3s and 4s, no rend damage 1. You get a Knight of Shrouds, not Knight of Shrouds, Guardian of Souls on these guys. They are statistically better than Witch Elves. And I'm counting against Witch Elves with shields here, who have a 5-up save in melee. If you have a hero around for the Witch Elves, they go to 3 attacks, 3s, 4s versus 2 attacks. So if in that scenario, the Daughters of Cain are back to being better. And if you sacrifice their save, well, you get even more attacks. But that's interesting to think about. Like a huge unshiftable unit with unmodifiable 5+ saves that also is as powerful on offense as a basic unit of Witch Elves. Just keep that in mind before you write the things off. Just keep that in mind. Where were we? Star Drake can snipe. Ah, okay. So there are models that can do it, but there's just not loads. There's just not loads that I'm aware of. Well, yes, Witch Brew, but that's another buff. So you need to have a Death Hag around. Sorry, Hag Queen around. So assuming you have a Hag Queen, yeah, okay, you have Witch Brew and you have other stuff. But yeah, it's just interesting. Thinking about getting Mark 4 and Mark 3 Marines, are they worth it? I mean, Prospero is a decent value box set. Calth, if you're doing it, get Calth. Because Calth comes with more Marine stuff than Prospero does. Because it comes with the Dreadnoughts and more Terminators. It comes with the Dreadnoughts and Cataphracts as opposed to like Sisters of Silence and stuff. And the, what do you call it? The Custodes and the, what's the name of the other Terminator thing? A something. What's the speedy Terminator arm from Heresy? Crap, I can't remember. 500 point model shouldn't be hurting about. Yeah, but it's true. Like, a Starter can do it. I just don't know how many armies have an ability to actually pick off a unit champion like that. Because if there's a bunch of ways to pick them off, then that's actually worth thinking about. But otherwise, they're just bravery 10 all the time, and then what's the bloody point in that, eh? Tartarus. Tartarus. I knew that. I really should. Tartaros, yeah, I really. Yeah. Sorry, I'm dumb. Thank you, chat. Low points cost, high unit size. And the Stormcast are going to be out tomorrow. Excellent. Good. I'll look forward to having a read of that. Yeah. There might be some chicanery. So that's the new Nighthorns. We've got a bit of a look into what's going to be in the Soul Wars box, not all of it. So we've seen the Spirit Torment ages ago. We saw the Spirit Torment battle War Scroll. We also saw I've seen this stuff today. We haven't seen anything else for them. So the things we're missing is the Mounted Knight of Shrouds, how that's going to vary compared to the Foot Knight of Shrouds. We need to see how the Stabby dudes work, the not Ghost of Remlays. And we need to see how the Reapers, as I'm going to call them until I remember, works. Where's the thing? There's the thing. Stormcasters grown on me. Yeah, like Stormcasters when they came out were just like, okay, they're an interesting looking army, but then I actually went and collected them, read their lore, and they were awesome. They do take a bit of time to grow anyway, I think. So a Blood Angel, a Blood Raven, a Salamander walk into a bar on Terra. Following morning, one wakes up with his eyebrows singed off, one forgets who he is, and the last wakes up covered in blood. I feel like I've heard that one before. I feel like I actually wrote that joke. Well, not the original version of that joke, but I feel I wrote that version of that joke on a stream before. I've heard that joke before. And I either said exactly that, or I gave an alternate version of that. But yeah, fair enough. There you go. Yeah, I'll be very curious to see how Nighthorns stack up, whether Legions of Nagash players will use them with their gravesite summoning the Chain Rasp hordes, or whether the heroes are worth using. I'll be very curious to see if they're actually going to slot into a Legions list, and then I'll be curious to see how they'll work on their own. So like, there's two trains of thought with them right now. Have we actually got to be able to ally with more Death Faction in the new General's Handbook? Yeah, we'll see about that. We'll see what's in the new General's Handbook, because they are updating everything. We'll get to that in a minute as we go down the next article, which is the Soul Wars and like full AoS 2 reveal. We'll get on to what's going to be coming out. There's a little bit about the handbook, there's a little bit about all the other stuff, so yeah, lots of fun things to get into. I feel like I need to pop my... Oh. It is a bit popped. Alright, okay. Hopefully that system stop being annoying now. Right. Any last remarks on the Nighthaunt before we move on? Oh, for God's sake. So yeah, is there any last remarks you want to make regarding the Nighthaunt? How do you think they're going to work? Obviously, we've not seen their points yet, and that's a huge deal, because we haven't seen their points. But, yeah. Death Rattler better in general. Want to do ghouls and ghosts? No. The current battle tomes are all compatible with AoS 2. So everything that's come out in terms of battle tomes is valid. But a lot of armies are getting new stuff, such as new allegiance abilities. They're getting a massive errata. A lot of armies will get an errata, but they're all going to be compatible so that the battle tomes themselves don't need to be redone. Need a replacement for the zombie horde eventually. Fair enough. I think Death Rattle probably has more synergy going for it, but we haven't seen the whole Nighthaunt range yet. Yeah, we'll have to see how it all shakes out in the wash before we make a final judgment, but I think it will be interesting to see how it goes. Another reference I didn't get. Alright, I think it's only fair. I just have to quick check out everything's functioning as it should be. Close enough. It seems like it's working at the very least. So, are we ready for some Soul Wars? Because I am. I certainly bloody am. By the way, I can't stop the little... I swear they've changed the reveal video into a GIF, and I can't stop the GIF, so you're going to see a really laggy GIF on the screen for a bit. Will every faction be getting a battle tome? Eventually. Not immediately, but eventually. This is the problem AoS has had. It's had a shockingly slow release schedule. So every faction will get a battle tome at some point. It's not going to be on release day. Every army's had a faction focus, or is getting one, but there won't be a battle tome for every army on release day. That we set of pitch battle profiles, a set of war scrolls that have been available for a while, but they're not going to be available on release. They'll be available as time goes on. So we'll get the Nighthorns battle tome very, very soon. We might get an updated Stormcast battle tome very soon. We'll probably get Slanesh, then we'll get Skaven. All those sorts of things. We'll just get over a bit of time. Oh, Skaven Goblins, not sure. We'll see. Yeah, it's going to be an expensive month. Thankfully, Erasmus still owe me some money, so... stellar. Right, let's do some Soul War. So, sorry about super laggy GIF. Can't do anything about it. Can't stop it. So, Soul Wars is going to be on pre-order June the 16th and available to buy June 30th. Now, I'm going to get that off the screen before we get any more lag. Buy. So, yeah, pre-order 16th, which is when everybody gets a look at things. In stores as well. My GW here in Grenoble is hosting sort of AoS 2 preview day on the 16th, and they go on pre-order. And then the 30th is the release date, which is, well, they said it was going to be in June. just. Need the book, need the handbook, maybe the spells. Well, we'll go through everything that's in here, and hopefully, maybe that'll help influence your decision. So, if we go with the Soul Wars box set, you can see there's a bit of an image there on screen of what's in it, though you'll get a bit of a closer look in a moment. Every single model in the kit is push fit. Thank you. I cannot tell you how annoying it can be sometimes when you've got weird models that glue together in weird ways. What this will do is limit conversion options. I won't lie. If you want to do conversions, push fit models are more annoying. But in terms of getting models on the table, getting games going quickly, them being push fit is good. Particularly for the Nighthorns, who I could see being exceptionally fiddly if they weren't push fit. Like, I could see them being really fiddly. Because the Mounted Knight of Shrouds is going to be super fiddly, I wager. And Griff Chargers are not complicated, but they are awkward. So, yeah, I'm kind of glad that they're push fit. So, that is the Knight of Shrouds sprue for anybody who gives a damn. Well, it's partly Knight of Shrouds, but it's also got the Spirit Torment on there, and the Guardian of Souls is on there. Okay, there's a lot of, well, some of those components are on there, not all of them. But that's interesting. So they've got the Guardian of Souls is there. Its sword and thing, yeah. That's the Knight of Shrouds, its mount, and the other half of it. Yeah, that's going to be interesting to see how that all goes together. Good luck, Nighthorn players. Death's first major release in years. Well, actually, now you say that, the last book they got, oh sorry, last army they got was Flesh Eater Courts and Leaders in a Gash, but they haven't actually had any new models since what? Nagash himself? It might actually be Nagash himself. Some faction focuses will group up factions like what they did to the Grots. That's true. We'll have to see if... I don't think I think there's enough scope in Grots for them to be separate from each other. Like Moon Clan, Git Mob, and all that stuff can be separated if they bulb them out a little bit. The Warhammer Adventures are not canon. So, no. Like, just leave that series alone. Like, you bring it up every 5 minutes in chat. Like, seriously, leave it alone. It's going to be what it'll be. The third book's been written, or is in the process of being written, and it's about the warp. So they're going there with warp stuff. Just leave it out. Pushfit's a great improvement of the last starter set. I've given my opinion on it before. I talked about it on the podcast. I'm playing the wait and see game with it. I think it'll be interesting, and if they handle it well, it could be really, 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 really good. As an introduction to the universe, maybe some Easter eggs sprinkled in there. I think it'd be really, really good. It could be crap. It could really, really suck if it's written badly. But if it's written well, I think it could be really, really good. If they treat the canon with enough respect that the player base won't just can it, and with enough care and attention that it appeals to the audience it's aimed at, I think it could be really, really good. It's just, I'm reserving judgment on it until I've seen the thing and read the thing. That's all I can say. Anyway, let's move on and take a look at some Stormcast, shall we? Because that's what we're all here for. The Sacrosanct Chamber, a gathering of magi? Don't care. And engineers who turn their arts to annihilation. Ow, tweak my elbow. There goes a host of warriors from this duty chamber, including the first ever Stormcast of Wizards and Celestar Ballista. So, 6 units in here. You've got a Lord Arcanum at the top. Actually, I should probably... yeah. So we've got a Lord Arcanum up at the top on his Griff Charger, which is lovely, lovely, lovely. There is a Knight Incantor, which is a wizard who also probably is... well, we've seen her War Scroll, so she can do a bit of a nuke ability. She's got a really good area of effect spell, so I think she's going to be one of the more powerful models in the Sacrosanct Chamber. You've got 3 Evocators. I don't No, if the fact that there's three, well, the fact that there's three worries me, because they might have just caught the problem the Paladins had in the AoS 1 box set, where you need 5 to make a unit in match play, but they give you 3 in the box. That would suck. That would super babby suck. So I hope that's not the case, and you can take them in units of 3, otherwise I'm going to be a bit annoyed about that. You then got 5 Castigators, which are your noob tubers, with their massive crossbow grenade launchers, and 8, yeah, weirdly, 8 Sequitors, the battle line infantry. We don't know quite how battle line they are, whether they're battle line all the time, battle line if Stormcast, battle line if Stormcast with a general bigger Lord Arcanum. So they could be like Liberators, they could be like Adjudicators, they could be like Vanguard Hunters. We honestly don't know at this moment in time. Don't want to speculate too hard. I'm guessing they'll be battle line if in some form. They're not going to be just battle line. I think they'll still be battle line if something. Whether it's a Legion Stormcast or Lord Arcanum General, I don't know which yet. Love the amount of models in this set, not sure if I'm going to get it. Yeah, very true. Stormcast upgrade kits. Which of those? Because like the shoulder, if it's shoulder pads and shields, they should still be compatible. Like, the shields don't look, to me at least, the shields don't look much different. And the shoulder pads don't look any different. So I don't know what's in those upgrade kits, I'm afraid. And then finally we have the Celestar Ballista, which from some image leaks from like White Dwarf look utterly bonkers on toast. I'm not going to judge them until I've seen their actual wall scroll in my hand, or I've seen it in White Dwarf, I'd buy it, or I've obviously got the wall scroll in my damn hand. But yeah, we'll see. And again, the fact that Sequitors are in a squad of 8 has me worried that if the minimum unit size is, it goes up in 5s, or you pay for them in 5s, or in 10s, well, that's going to be a problem with a unit of 8. WTF. And you know what will happen? We'll get a Sacrosanct start collecting, which contains that other Knight Encounter, you know, the one with like, the Thanos gauntlet that we saw from Warhammer Fest. It'll contain 2 Evocators, 7 Sequitors, and like the cavalry bloke. I'm sorry, no. It's going to be easy to build kit later with the articles. I'm going to guess that they're going to be like the Retributors for the first box, where you need to get more. With the Sequitors there are. Is there with the Evocators? No. It's with the Sequitors and the Castigators are getting them, not the Evocators. So we'll see. We shall see. Now we know where Dord has been. There's nobody here with a chainsaw. So, not sure who you're referring to there. I'm sorry. But yes, I'll scroll down a little bit here. So, short description of all of them. So, the Lord Arcanum is going to have the ability to resurrect your Stormcast, bro. Now. Stormcast with resurrection powers. Ooh. Like, there's a Stormcast Summoning can go in the bin. Stormcast Resurrection, oh, that could be dangerous if they overplay that. So if it's like only a Sacrosanct model that can resurrect, then okay, just bring back some Sequitors, bring back like maybe like D6 wounds, like the bloody Guardian of Souls. I don't know. One of the crossbow guys. Oh. I didn't realise I could do that. Sorry, I didn't actually realise I was going to do that. Which one? Which one exactly? Oh, I shouldn't do that. I should not do that. Which one looks like TTS Dawn? The champion? Must be the champion. Not sure. Anyway, you can come out now, chat. Stormcast kind of need it given how much summoning there is. Yeah, but I worry to what extent they could do that. Oh, the champion then. Okay, fair enough. I don't see it myself all that much, but alright, I'll go with you on it. I'll go with you. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how summoning stacks up. We talked about it in yesterday's community discussion. We sort of talked about like how whether summoning is going to be too good, potentially. Has his helm in his hand? Really? Hang on, what? Who's got that? Who, what? Who, what, where? Who, what, where? What are you saying? No one has their helm in there. What? What? Hang on. Oh! Oh! The guy lays with... Right! Right! That's not helpful! Alright, thank you. Thank you for the clarification. Alright, where was I? So Nighthorns has a Dispel Scroll. Going to be really good at shutting down magic. Evocators. Give out buffs. Chuck lightning at people. I'm so down. I am so down for Chain Lightning and buffs. Oh yeah. Buffs in Stormcast are so dangerous, but I'm down. Castigators. Fire crystalline bombs. They're actually Draco's Breath, not magical energy. Yeah, actual bloody noob tubes. I don't know how to feel about that. I don't like the models all that much, but I could be swayed. Sequitors, hard-hitting line infantry with the ability to enchant their weapons or their shields, allowing them to tailor their fighting style to any foe. I'm guessing that's going to be a Ren boost and maybe Ren's nullification. That would be my best guess for their supercharge. Whether that will be a spell or whether that will just be like a D6 to cast. Like priest ability, whether that will be just a passive they can activate whenever they want, whether it's limited, we don't know at this moment. They're strong with help coming back. Really? Like the idea where summoning involves certain goals need to be performed. No, for me, more units to be generated like the Seraphon I've got. Yeah, as we've had, that's very, very true. Like Nurgle sort of does that, Khorne does that, Slanesh does that. Death doesn't do that. They just need grave sites and heroes around. But yeah, it's... Yeah. I do like the more thematic summoning. I'll agree with that. Summoning being thematic, down with that. Finally, Celestar Ballista, war machine that strikes with a deluge of armor-shredding lightning bolts. So, repeater bolt throwers are back. That would be nice. Draco's Breath bombs, yeah. As far as I remember, it's Draco's Breath anyway. Trait lightning, so storm past pages up. If you're not British, you might not get... Well, actually, no, it's not just a British thing. It's a more British thing because our cops don't carry guns. And it's certainly not a European thing because, like, the amount of guns I see, the soldiers walk the streets around here. But yeah, generally, our cops don't carry guns. So, tasers is... Oh, it's taser referencing. Ding. Well played, well played. So, off against them, you have the Nighthorns with 7 units. Yes, 7. Each one is with the details. Boom. Fine. So, at the back, you've got a Knight of Shrouds on Ethereal Steed who can steal the very life force of their foes. You have the Lord Executioner, who we looked at earlier. The Guardian of Souls, who we looked at earlier. The Spirit Torment, who was in a previous preview and also does a bunch of healing. So I think that's going to be Nighthorns' gimmick, is it basically never stays down. I think that's going to be Nighthorns' trick. Like skeletons and other death stuff is units die, units come back. In Nighthorns, it's going to be like your units just never die because you have a healing spell and you have another healing aura off the chain Spirit Torment thingamajig, and there could be more healing going around. You'll probably be able to cast the Emerald Life Swarm. This is going to be an army that's just going to never die. I think that's going to be its gimmick. This is going to be Death's Nurgle. I know that's probably a bit of a stretch, but I think the Nighthorn might be Death's version of Nurgle, because they're all ethereal. Some of them have got mortal wound protection. They get resurrected like bejesusly fast and can be summoned. I think that's what they're going for. That's sort of like Death's super, like, just stay down army. Not the units die and come back. It's the models themselves. The units just never die. That's, I think, going to be Nighthorn's gimmick. I would say. It's not going to be about raw damage, though they'll be able to do some horrible damage. It will be about just never actually dying and needing to be resurrected. Which means that Nighthorn might not rely on grave sites. So yeah, you could actually have an army where grave sites can be saved at the back of the board or at other points on the board for summoning really, really powerful hitty units. Like, oh, I don't know, maybe Graveguard, I don't know, or what else has got Summonable? I don't know what else has got Summonable, but I know Graveguard do. Deathcrons. Deathcrons. Fair play, good joke. So Spirit Torment has the power to trap even Stormcast Eternals in its shackles. We get 4 of the Grimghast Reapers. That's these dudes with the scythes. We get 5 of the Glaive Wraith Stalkers, the Ghosts of Remlays, and 20 of the Chain Rasp Hordes. So 20 of the basic infantry. Excuse me. 20 of the basic infantry, that should be plenty to work with. Yeah. Hard to kill, hard to hide from. Yeah, because they'll also have the ability to fly. So, yeah. Hard to kill, hard to hide from. That's probably a quite apt description. I quite like that as a description. I'll go with that. I'll go with that as a description of Nighthorns. More Miss Andrew Potter references. So you also get a starter box. The first, a booklet with the Battle of Glimsforge. Now, Glimsforge is a place that's actually been named as a place in the Malign Portent stories. I believe it's been named anyway. Is it in Gaish? Maybe Shaish. I can't remember. But I know the name Glimsforge. I've seen it at least once in the Malign Portent stories. Gonna need a whole lot of Dakka and forego melee. Well, you can, but most armies don't have that amount of Dakka. Like, Stormcast can, particularly with the Stellar Star Ballista now in the army. They could put down the Dakka, but we'll see. So I need to get a starting book, good. 32-page book about how everything works. Also the core rulebook, which is obviously really, really important. Everybody needs that. Get a bunch of dice, some counters, although what those counters are going to be for, not sure yet. Oh, it's a measurer. It's a 12-inch measure thing. I'm intelligent. And then transfers? Well, that transfers. Probably transfers. You get another look at the Knight Incantor's War Scroll, if you'd forgotten. So they have a Dispel Scroll, they have 3 damage D3 attacks, they have a nice Aura spell that does a little bit of mortal wounds and minimises run and charge rolls, and they can smash their flasks to do mortal wounds to units around them. Yeah, so that's just a reminder for you. And the core rulebook, which has a Liberator on the front. The core rulebook is how you play the game. The core rulebook is going to contain, in this case, the lore. It's going to contain the basic battle plans, the actual rules of the game, the realm rules are going to be contained in there, and those sorts of things. The General's Handbook is an expansion. So it's going to contain pitch battle points values, it's going to contain more scenarios for open and narrative and matched play, it's going to contain allegiance abilities, those sorts of things. So the core book is how you'll play the game, and the General's Handbook is how you'll play it properly. but you can't play the game without the core book. Is it replacing the 2 to 4 pages of rules? We don't know. Now, part of me is actually concerned if they go away from the little rules booklets, because the little rules booklets were so helpful in just learning the game for the first time. You just had like 5 or 6 it might be now 5 or 6 pages. You just go whip, whip, whip. Everything was literally in a tiny, tiny amount of space, and you get all the things you needed. Whereas, if it's in a core rulebook like this, there's a risk if they don't condense all the rules into one tiny section and have all the expansion stuff in another section, it just gets a little bit cluttered. So we'll have to see how it all shakes out. The rules are still available for free though. They are saying that, they have said that, the rules are staying free. They have said that. I think they said that on release day. Or sorry, on reveal day back at Warhammer Fest. The idea of Nighthorns being enforced, prisoners and executioners, generally scum of the earth, being offered redemption. Well, it's not redemption, but that is who they are. There's actually a little bit of fluff on them a little bit later in this article, so I'll see if I can have a read of it for you. So, this is the core book. It is a compendium of lore, art and rules of the ultimate guide to diddly-diddly-dee. The first part takes the closest look at the narrative of the mortal realm so far, fleshing out the timeline, taking a look at everything from the Age of Myth to Slanesh to the Roundgate Wars and the Shai's Necroquake, which is what's caused all the malign sorcery stuff. And the artwork. Just. Does it say where this is? Like, the colour scheme screams Shaman at me. Like, the realm of metal. But it could be Akshi. Or it could even be Azir. Is that... I can't tell. I can't tell. It doesn't say who this belongs to, but bloody hell, the artwork is gorgeous. First to go with the 40k 8 through to keep the 2 to 4 pages of rules free, the actual core of the game, and then slap all the scenarios and expansions into the rulebook or the General's Handbook or chapter approved as the 40k version is. Some more fluff about them in the first Nighthorn faction focus, that too. Yes, story time. I love lore. Like, you know I love lore. Next we'll be able to guide every single one of the realms designed to adapt to the character from maps, timelines, art, to show you what a citizen of that realm might look like. You'll find intrigue, mystery and context that, oh, why wasn't this in the book 3 years ago, damn it! Where was this 3 years ago? Seriously, why wasn't this here 3 years ago? When they actually put the books out and the game out, where was this lore? Where was this context? I sound like I'm mad, but I'm grinning at the same time because I'm so happy we've got it. I'm just frustrated that it's taken us 3 damn years to get to this damn point. Whatever. So, this details the twin Jade Kingdoms that form a place called the Everspring Swathe. I don't know how much I'm going to have a quick read about here. So, this was where Alariel lived. So, we know where Alariel lived in the Age of Myth. Lovely. Who the flip is Neos? Who's Neos? Okay, it's... Oh, it's an island. So, oh my god, so Nagash and Alariel had to make a deal. They had to keep themselves away from each other. Oh, wow. Like, I'm just speed reading this. Wow. Oh, this is so fun. A land where every living thing freezes and dies every year, only to be reborn every spring is covered to find. Oh my god, where was this 3 years ago, for God's sake? It's not GW being greedy. No, it's not. Like, okay, you could say that they did rush it out because they killed fantasy, but it's not being greedy to withhold lore and then put it out 3 years later. That's a dangerous, dangerous, dangerous move to make if you're G-dubs. Like, oh yeah, we're just going to hold the lore back for 3 years. Never mind if people think there's no context to the game, so nobody buys it, nobody plays it. So then we don't really flesh out anything and just put it a tiny bit at a time. That's dangerous play. That's not being greedy. Ah, damn it. Yeah, I just wish this was here 3 years ago. And that's like, that's not even the whole thing. That only covers like the Age of Chaos. That's the Age of Myth. Okay, that 2 pages is up to 1.5 pages of that is the Age of Myth. Just the Age of Myth on Alarielle's house. That's it. We get a page and a half on Alarielle's house. Ish. That's just like... Rushing isn't greed. Rushing is lazy. I think they weren't greedy, they were lazy. I think that's the word I would use. They weren't greedy, they were lazy because they didn't take the time to flesh everything out before they dropped the game on us. And they certainly should have had this much sooner. But yes, better late than never is absolutely correct. Better late than never. Oh, I'm so happy. Here's that page on the Nighthorns, by the way. Again, I'll give you a quick reading. In 100,000 graveyards across the mortal realms, a bone-numbing chill seeps out from open tubes and exhumed massed graves. With it comes a deadly mist, and within that strange miasma are the night-haunt hosts. These are not corporeal foes, creatures that can be slain with blade or shot, but ethereal entities, all but immune to blows from mundane weapons. Indeed, imbued with the resurgent energies of Shaiish, their power comes from an immortal rage, spite and bitterness that gives them the power to tear flesh and rend the soul. They are able to drift through walls and reach through the flesh of men with their cold talons to still the hearts within. The Nighthorns hail from the realm of death, especially near the Shaiish nadir and the inner lands around its sloping rim. Is it slope? I think so. These are not normal geist, spirits of mortal men that have found rest and are to be called into another service, but truly evil undead apparitions, spectres so twisted by Nagash and his undead acolytes that they become ghostly killers, fixated on visiting horror upon the living. Oh, I've read 2 paragraphs and I'm hooked. 2 paragraphs. 2 and I'm hooked. Jesus Christ. Age of Sigmar, when you actually write the lore is amazing, and where was this like 3 years ago? So frustrating. So great that we've got it now, and it's absolutely amazingly written. Hats off to the lore team like Phil Kelly and co. But bloody hell, I'm so annoyed that it took us this long because it's so good. I'd have probably been, like, if this had been out when AoS came out, I might have done AoS lore as a series. I might have genuinely alternated 40k AoS, 40k AoS, 40k AoS, because there might have actually been enough lore for me to bloody well do that, but there wasn't at the time when I was doing 40k stories. Now there's a bit more, but I have to buy all the books and all that stuff. Just, damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it. You can tell how much I'm hooked on this now, how hyped I am for this. I don't do hype, I don't buy into hype trains, but I'm just hooked. Like, so hooked, so happy, so happy. Anyway, let's carry on, So the second half of the core book is dedicated to gameplay. 320 pages, give or take, I think. So 160 pages of lore. I just want to stress that one more time. 160 pages of lore, give or take. Oh yes, oh yes. So down, so ready. Shut up and take my money. The hype is real. The hype is indeed real on this stream. And I am kind of in shut up and take my money mode. But Yeah. So, in terms of the rules, what you'll get is, as well as the essential core rules, which will be a few pages, you'll get a load of expansions. So, Realm of Battle rules that you set your game in the mystical landscapes of the mortal realms. You'll be doing this a lot, I suspect. An open war battle plan generator. Nice. I mean, cards do that, but if they actually put it in the books where you just roll for everything, that's good. A guide to all sorts of narrative play games, from sieges, which already exist, to subterranean warfare. Yes! Skaven, dwarves, underground warfare. Oh, it's true. It's damn true. Damn it, yes. And yes, that was a WWE reference. Want it, not care for cost, just give. Yeah. So inspiration for campaigns. Six matched play battle plans and battle strategies. A new way to score your games that rewards quick thinking and flexibility. Is that tactical objectives? No, that wouldn't be tactical objectives. I mean, we've seen in things like Triumph and Treachery that they do have alternate scoring methods available to them. And we know that different games score different ways. But I'm so interested in how battle strategy is going to work, because there's the problem at the moment in AoS 1 where the middle of the board basically decides the game. You take the middle of the board and the party just score points after points and points on points on points on points on points on points, and you just can't be beat. So you have to just be tabled to lose. And some armies can't be tabled. So hopefully battle strategies will give you alternate ways of how to actually win the game. So killing generals will be a reward, killing heroes might be rewarded, killing wizards or monsters or artillery might be rewarded, controlling certain amounts of objectives for a certain amount of time might be rewarded, destroying something with a unit that arrives from reserves, or summoning a unit, or casting some spells. I'm thinking about tactical objectives here, but something like that would be nice. I mean, if people don't bother with those rules, then they don't bother with those rules. But I'm very happy those rules exist. The elves in general. Oh no, my elves ain't. Well, actually, my elves are going to die in droves. But yeah. That, by the way, is the person who does the artwork, did the podcast artwork, and who also did the artwork for the community discussion, which was actually drawn while we were recording it. It was amazing. So anyway, yes, I just thought I'd let people know who that is. But yeah, if even if your community isn't using the rules for narrative play, like sieges, underground, the aerial battles that we know are coming in the General's Handbook and other stuff, there's plenty on offer, and I'm glad that it's there, because it gives you more options if you want to do it. So it's good that it's there. If your community doesn't use it, your community doesn't use it. But they're there, and they're going to be awesome if you do use them. Tactical objectives will be an interesting one. We'll see. Hey, you ain't eating my elves. Knock it off. If you do, I'll just make more. So, carrying on. So, the core book. So, we get a little bit of a look at Realms of Battle. I don't know how well I'll be able to read this, so hang on. No, I'm not going to have a chance. Realm Sphere Magic. So, there'll be a signature spell available, so Fireball and Pall of Doom, I think. There's a Realm Command trait, one of, or two of actually for Shaiish. Realmscape features that allow you to have the realm influence how, so you can determine what your board is going to be like. So we'll see. Most games we do are done 1v2 sieges. 1v1 for local gaming store. Yeah. Like, there's plenty of options, and I do like the fact that I'm glad that it's there and it exists. That's what's important. So yeah, it looks like there's going to be ways for the terrain to impact the entire game. Yeah, if a battle takes place in the realm of the player that picked
for something that picked the realm can roll a dice and look up the result on the table below. Something, something, something. This applies... Oh, this roll applies for the battle. The result applies to both players. So yeah, basically, the realm is going to do some chicanery. Yeah. I think they're semi-homogenizing the two systems to make it easy for players to jump over, but it's also different enough to feel like its own thing. Yes, in many ways. This is something I made a video about at Christmas. I said 40k 8th edition has kind of borrowed some stuff from Age of Sigmar, because it has. They like the you-go, I-go combat system. Leadership now works like bravery, and some other stuff it also nicked, like the return of movement values. Things. It just generally it took a lot of stuff. But yeah, that's interesting. And I do like the fact that AoS is borrowing some things from 40k, 40k is borrowing some things from AoS, but they're still entirely separate universes and they play very differently. 40k is about guns, 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 and guns. AoS, while you can do guns, is a mix of magic and monsters and melee. It's the triple M, whereas 40k is guns, tanks, and I'm not even sure. There's actually confirmation that Christmas exists in AoS. Sanguinel's thing in 40k, I don't think it's a thing in AoS actually. Well, because the battle could be split into two realms and both players have to use realm gates to access the different sections of the board. Like, realm gates on the board is something that they've done before. I don't know if I'd want it to be only using realm gates. What you'd have to do with that is you have to play two boards. So you had like one board which took place in, let's say, Akshi, and like a 3x1, a 6x2 that took place in Akshi, and 6x2 that took place in Gyron. Let's say this is Hammerhal I'm talking about, by the way. So your army sort of is set up in one realm, and maybe some of the objectives are off in the other realm. So you have the option to hop through a realm gate and be chased down. Or maybe you have to deploy, like, one person deploys in one realm, one person deploys in the other, and then no, that wouldn't work. They could do something like that. That'd be a really fun narrative mission. I don't know how balanced it would be, but that's what narrative's for. That'd be interesting. Okay, I quite like that. Monsters, magic, and melee weapons. I want that on a t-shirt. Suffice to say, I do not have the pull to get merch. I'm so doing this as soon as I get the book. Yeah, there's so much fun stuff you can do. Now. Malign Sorcery. It's an expansion. This is important. This is important. Endless Spells are an expansion. Realm Relics, they're actually in here. Am I right? Yes, this book contains the magical items and the spells of the realms. I've skipped down a bit here because I just want to talk about this. Malign Sorcery, the Endless Spells, the Realm Artifact, and the Realm Magics are entirely optional. They're an expansion. You don't have to use them. They're not in the core rules. That needs to be pointed out. I need to point that out now, but okay. The Realm Artifacts, I think, could have been part of the core rules to an extent. Maybe just have like 2 from each realm. Goat will be fine. I want to just point that out before I talk about the rest of Malign Sorcery. So, takes magic, turns it up to 11. So if you have a wizard in your army, get this, you have 13 new endless spells. yeah, why not 14? Because 2 per realm, but you know, I think there's some realm specific ones and then some just generic ones. Summon sorceries, massive in-game effects. Previewed a few of these over the past few weeks, but now they can reveal the full list of endless spells. Yeah, I'm glad they're optional. Like, I want to use them, and I will use them. I'm buying Malign Sorcery, and I'm chucking out the endless spells, and I'm just going to throw some bullshit about, because I want to do that, because that's fun. But for tournaments, you now have the option not to use them as a TO. That's great. If you want to play a narrative campaign in a certain, like, a region of the realm that maybe the Malign Sorcery hasn't really infected, like it's the core of the realm, you don't have to. That's really important. That's really, really good. It allows people to have the option to play how they want to. Exactly. Choice. Pro-choice. Always more choices. Always more options in pretty much every walk of life. Always more choices. Let's give it a number better. Yes, yes. I should have seen that one coming. So, the endless spells. Dun 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 dun. Sorry, that I needed to do something a little bit dramatic there. Was the Skaven or the Log? So some of these look really, really good. Some of them look kinda meh. I'm talking purely aesthetics. I'm not talking about gameplay effects. We don't know. But some of these look really awesome. Like the Ravanak looks amazing. The Ether Void Pendulum looks absolutely glorious. The Purple Sun looks great. The Chronomantic Cogs look great. The Maelstrom looks cool. The bloody Spell Portal looks cool. But some of them, like the Gravetide number 5, is just like, eh. The chain's just like, eh. Yes, the Purple Sun of Zarus is now the Purple Sun of Shaiish, but yes, the Purple Sun of Zarus. It's back, all the yes. Pit of Shades exists. It's in the Daughters of Cain. It's in the Lore of Shadow for the Daughters of Cain. It exists. Purple Sun looks derpy. I can see some people thinking that way. Yes. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Now we actually get, again, a little bit below. We're going to go through, not the full effects, but we get to see some of the hints at how they're going to function. Which is interesting. I thought number 5 was a caterpillar. No, it's a tidal wave of souls, is what it is. Yeah, it's hidden away in Daughters of Cain. So yeah. Final Transmutation, that spell doesn't exist, though I wouldn't be surprised if it's in the realm of Metal's lore discipline in Malign Sorcery. I reckon some sort of transmutation spell will exist. I don't know which and how it will work, but I think it will exist. Not sure how it will work though. So, let's go over the spell list. Hopefully you just have a quick memorize of what's up there. So, the Purple Sun rolls over things, absolutely murders the balls out of them. Ramanak's Gnashing Jaws comes from Gur, runs around, murders the bloody hell out of them. Standard stuff. The Prismatic Palisade. Now, this is a light spell that just puts up a giant bloody wall. Like, I don't know how big it actually is, but looking at the width of the thing, that's a big bloody wall. You could hide you could hide some decent sized units behind that, and it's a shooting buff. Well, a shooting defense buff, which is great. That's absolutely lovely. Oh, so the bottom edge was right. So I think my Daughters of Cain are going to really love the Prismatic Palisade. Ideneth with the Prismatic Palisade. Oh, Jesus Christ. Forgotten Nightmares plus that? Yeah, no thanks. The Ether Void Pendulum. Sets it off in a line. Swing, 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 swing. Dead. Perfect. The Suffocating Gravetide. A rolling wave of souls that crushes all underneath it. Looks a bit meh, probably quite good. The Umbral Spell Portal. A two-way portal that you can cast a spell into one of them and it comes out the other. And endless spells can roll into this portal and come out the other one. That's hilarious. Do we know about the wall blocking moving across? It only says it shields anyone behind it from shooting. That's all it says. And it will work two ways. If you shoot across it at your opponent, even if you cast it, they'll still get a buff. You'll get protected, but so will they. Bear that in mind. The Malevolent Maelstrom, that's this one here, number 7. It's the one next to the swords. Now I bring this one up because it is an orb of energy, thinking with portals. Doesn't have the doink effect when you bang your head on the desk. There's no like shh effect when you donk your head on the table. But the Malevolent Maelstrom unbinds spells, devours them, then blows up. So you could just have a spell that acts as like a, what's the word I'm looking for? A lightning rod? So it could be like a spell lightning rod that you've put it in the middle of your army, just you try and control it to roll it around as much as you can. Your opponent casts a spell within a certain aura of it, and it just goes nom 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 and blocks it. Admittedly, there's a chance it might explode. We don't know how I haven't seen this war scroll yet, but that's a really fun idea. Having an endless spell that eats other spells. So like, I don't know if it could eat the purple sun, but just think about that. Like this like roiling water maelstrom just runs into the purple sun, and you get them spinning around each other like two black holes fusing, and then there's just a massive boom. Sorry, I've been doing astrophysics and cosmology. That just kind of appeals to me. Just the idea of two massive spells, one of them just devouring the others. They get smaller and closer together, and it devours the pair, and it gets just devoured into it, but it can't contain the energy, and kaboom! I don't know, just sounded fun to me. Cast, send in a different endless, then unbind to keep it on their side. Yeah, possibly. The Quicksilver Sword is a mass of semi-sentient blades you could fling at your enemy. Sounds like Munchlax. Not sure if that's a Munchlax misspell. Unsure. Now, the Burning Head. I want to bring this one up because the Burning Head you just think is a death machine. And it is a death machine. But it's also a buff. It's basically a Wrathmonger with no legs. Like, normally you'd say it's like something on legs. This is a Wrathmonger in spell form. So it deals damage and incinerates units, but also buffs them so they hit harder. Now that's a really fun spell to play around with, because it's a real risk-reward kind of spell. Like, I could have this just hovering around my main battle line. We'll see if it buffs shooting, like maybe it's like if you fire within 6 inches of it you get flaming attacks, I don't know. But, so do I keep it around my battle line, buffing my stuff up, on the off chance that they get incinerated? Like, if I'm a Skaven player, I love that as a concept. That sounds hilarious. It's like, yes, yes, have flaming swords, my minions. I don't care that 5 of you are being incinerated every turn. Fight harder. Yes, another spell Khorne would like, if it cast them. Like, that's a fantastic idea. I love this as a concept. Like, yes, I have a huge horde of models. Then I'm going to fight even harder. Some of them will die, but I don't care. I'll just make more if I'm playing like Nighthorns or something. Fun. So much fun with strategy. Oh yes. Oh yes, 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 yes. The Geminids of Ulgaish, a 2-part endless spell that confounds anyone it crashes into with a deluge of magical effects. Why do I feel like that's going to just be run into something, debuff a bunch of stuff? It's like, here, have some debuffs. Fun. Could the unbinding spell unbind another unbinding spell? We don't know yet. Like, we don't know how they'll interact with other endless spells at the moment, so we'll have to wait till we see its War Scroll when it comes out. The Chronomantic Cogs. We've actually seen this one So you could either really slow down time to do one thing, or you could speed up time to make yourself move really, really fast and do some other chicanery. So the chronomantic cogs has two uses for slowing down and speeding up time, and control will probably pass from player to player. You can do some really fun things with the chronomantic cogs. Again, it's going to be fun, but it's also going to be really, really strategic. I'm on board with that. The Soul Snare Shackles, that's the chains at the bottom, like Dr. Octopus's without his body. Mystical chains that latch onto the legs of any who try to pass through them. Okay, so movement debuffs, maybe with a chance of mortal wounds? Probably? Something like that. Maybe it'll work like, oh, what was the spell? Net of Amintok. Does anybody remember Net of Amintok? Because that was a hilarious spell. It's like, here, you're trapped in a box. You have to pass a strength test if you want to do anything. Have fun! Time shenanigans, I'm down. Yeah, I'm down. I'm down with time shenanigans. I mean, I've always wanted to play Tracer. Why not? Cheers, love. I'll never live that down. Oh, Christ. Why did I do that? Sorry, I'm a little bit hyper. And finally, the Emerald Life Swarm, potentially one of the most powerful utility spells that just runs around healing units, resurrecting the dead. Oh Christ, this could be really, really powerful. I mean, it's not that big, but I'm worried about the Emerald Life Swarm just because mass healing is dangerous. Just because mass healing is dangerous. But we'll see. I'm not going to judge it until it's out. So yeah, there's your endless spells, everybody. Have fun with those. Indeed. Oh, somebody who can actually spell cavalry. Thank you. It's not Calvary. It's cavalry. Oh God, what have I done? Yes, the meme will... I do know that. I'm quite aware of how memes work. Particularly when it involves me, memes never die. No, 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 no. Don't give him another one. But anyway, let's carry on with some Malign Sorcery, shall we? So, every single one of these spells and its War Scroll is in the box. So you can buy all the other spells in one box. And their War Scrolls. Great. No. Cavalry, as spelled above by Douglas. Yeah. I've heard people call it cavalry, like Americans especially are quite guilty of this, but hey. So inside the box you find the full supplement, Your Guide to Magic in the Mortal Realms. This book takes a close look at magical lore of the Age of Sigmar and the arcane materials that accumulated each other, such as Ether Quartz and Cycle Stone. There's more lore! There's actually more lore in here! Yes! That's a good thing, there's more lore! Pages of art and background depicting the unbound living for magic rampant across each of the realms. You'll even find painting guides, thank flip for that! Because some of these are bloody hard to bloody paint. Now just giving my character strap shooter and more stuff to deny magic. Boo! Shame! Shame! Uh-oh. I need to take a break. I'll be back in like 5 minutes. Someone's calling me. Break.
And we're back. Sorry, parents rang because I caught my mum yesterday when my dad was out putting up something for the local gala, so I didn't get a chance to catch up with him. So he rang, but it's all good. So we are back. Rowan's doing the Discord stuff. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Have I missed anything? Nothing relating to that. Anyway, let's jump back in. So, yes, as I was saying, painting guides for the end of the spells. So happy about that. And a bunch of lore about how they work. That's lovely. What else have we got? There's more in capital letters. Seriously, even without the endless spell, this would be a pretty hefty supplement. Skirmish on the Realm's Edge lets you fight battles and paths to glory with a handful of models in some of the mortal realm's most unstable landscapes as they hunt and bind wild spells for coin and renown. Okay. That sounds like fun. That sounds like fun. So that's a bit of lore that we learned quite recently about the mortal realms. So the centers of the mortal realms are quite stable magical energy, but towards the edge it's a lot less stable. So it kind of makes sense that the endless spells are way more out of control over there. That you're more likely to just be randomly immolated if you're in Akshi, or transmuted if you're in Shamon, or dissolved into mist in Ulgu. I don't bloody know. So that's really fun that you get to take you to the realm's edge and see what it's like out there and let the magic run wild. Also, yes, the fact that everyone's probably run off to the Discord means nobody's listening to me right now. And yes, Path to Glory support, that also helps. Because Path to Glory is a neglected supplement, damn it. Like, Path to Glory is in every single book and I don't think I've ever played it. I want to play it, I will play it someday, but it's just something I've never got around to. Finally, somebody gets the way I sound. Shaman sounds like Michael Jackson. Somebody finally gets it. Like, nobody's ever called me out on that before. You do. You do. That does happen in Shaman. That does happen. You go to the Realm's Edge, you just get transmuted. It happens. It just does. There's no joke there. It just does. Anywho's, let's continue on here. Hang on, that's an endless spell table. What the flip? I can't read it. The one with the I can't read it. Crap, can't read it. That's a shame. Larger games, you get the 84 magical items are in this book, so you don't get the realm relics in the core game, nor do you get the spells of the realms, as I mentioned earlier. And pitch battle profiles giving you the points you need. Points? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Why do the endless spells have points? That is interesting. That is very interesting. The AoS 2 will occur my current first, you need the future thirds. Well, I mean, I'll be honest with you. 40k 8th, I still had to get a first. Doing 40k. AoS 2, it doesn't matter. I've already sat the exams for this year, so they are probably going to be 2 1s, but I can't do anything about that. That's just the French system being crap. Going back to uni next year, well, we'll see. Hopefully I'll go back up to a first. I want a first. Because they're just that powerful. So they're going to work like, yeah, you need to buy the endless spell you're going to use. That's a new way of doing it. Because we've never had to, well, you have had to buy magic. No, you do have to cast them. You have to cast them. Because they have a casting value. It's just, yeah, they are summonable. They're summoned by a casting roll. But summoning nowadays doesn't cost anything. Well, first we're going to Tau next week. Have any advice? I haven't played Tau in 6 months. So I'm a little bit rusty. And I don't know what your list is, I don't know what your opponent's list or at least army is. So it kind of vary quite a lot. Instead of like 20 to 60 points. Okay, that's fine. So you give up a command point to use an endless spell.
alright, that's alright. I mean, for Stormcast, that's nothing. Like, for Stormcast, that's just filling out points, pocket change. For some armies, that's like half a unit. There's a giant bug on my window. So, that's my line sorcery. Yeah, I'm playing that. I'm playing the absolute balls out of that. And now we have the General's Handbook, which looks gorgeous, by the way. This Griffhound holding mini Galmaraz with a Relicta banner in the background, and then the Wheel of Magic behind. Oh, I'm so happy about that. That's cool. So. For matched play gamers, you'll be able to diversify your games with 12 more battle plans. Using new rules for rolling out which battle plan you play, you can combine these with the battle plans in the core book for a total of 18, and there's actually 20 in total that you had 2 more from Marine Sorcery. I'm sorry I can't help you, just that I haven't played 40k in so long. I haven't even played with the New Tau Codex. I've not actually got the New Tau Codex because I've been in the wrong country, so I haven't just been able to buy it or run home and pick up my models. Yeah, sorry, I wish I could help. Yeah. I wish I could help, but I just can't, I'm sorry. Wizard Duels. That could be fun. Needs to be the AoS open date. God damn, I wish I could be. I might be. If I can be, I'm gonna go. If I can make it, I'm gonna go to the AoS open day. Because, damn it, fun. So, as I said, 18 battle plans for matched play, 20 if you're using the Malign Sorcery rules, which is fun. And you have to build your list out of all manner of possible situations, so you also get the points, as you would expect, and we get a couple of things in here, one of which is Places of Arcane Power, that hasn't changed all that much, and one called the Relocation Orb. Now, I can't read this, because it's way too small. But can we just appreciate that map for a second? And the amount of diagrams on that map. Like, the amount of diagram. What do you think the recent rumour engine is? Well, the first thing that came to my mind was Malerian's Elves. I've heard talk it might be Slaneshi stuff, it might be Genestealer Culty. Someone mentioned earlier actually in the stream that it might be Genestealer Culty. But Malerian's Elves was the first thing that came to mind, especially since they've now previewed Genestealer Cults, shown off one of the models. So, I don't know. So open play remains a treat for those who are looking for fresh new ways to play. A vastly expanded battle plan generator allows you to create ones easy, no more wondering about it, whilst aerial battles bring a whole new dimension to your games. Ever wanted to see how a wing of prosecutors would fare against a pack of Zangor Skyfires and Enlightened on Dis of Tzeentch? This is how you find out. You can play overhead combat where the battle in the skies can affect the battlefield below, hilarious, or stratospheric battles where aerial units rule the skies and those that cannot fly must perch atop eyries and buildings. Oh my Sigma, yes. Yes, 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 yes. Oh, Jesus, Stormfiends. Stormfiends, get in the bin. Stormfiends, get in the bin. Federer managed to get a variety of different heralds. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't bank on it, but I wouldn't be surprised. Sky fights. Yeah, sky fights. Yeah, flying units just doing battle with each other. The imagery. Imagery of this battle. Like, I think my Stormcast here, by the way. So I've got like a Star Drake dominating the skies as it's circled by these other winged beasts belonging to, I don't bloody know. Or maybe like a Star Drake and a Lord of Change duking it out far above as prosecutors. And I don't know, Zangor Skyfires whiz around. And then you've got just units like perched on the top of buildings trying to fire up with their ranged weapons. And oh, the mental imagery that this sort of battle evokes for me. I'm so down. I'm so down. Like, between underground, aerial, 2 types of aerial, siege battles, what's next? Flying Beast Claw, shove off, Rowan, with your Flying Beast Claw bollocks. Hope it's not that Skyfight's in 40k. Yeah, there's a risk it could be crap, like it just is really, really clunky. But hopefully, it'll be awesome. It sounds awesome, I agree with you, Z. It definitely sounds awesome. The general mechanic also has a lot of narrative play. So, flexible, powerful rules for designing battle plans of your own time, which stores 43 special rules allow you to add all manner of strange effects to your games, from meteor showers to magic storms and networks of tunnels. Like... AoS 2 is going full Top Gun. Actually, yeah, if they do bloody Top Gun, like, if you could have, like, battles where you've got, like, range units flying around each other, trying to get behind each other to attack each other, just the mental imagery is amazing. Caradron with orc pirates, with boarding actions, oh my god, don't! Stop, please stop! Oh, this just needs to happen! This will be amazing! Just like orky admirals and just give me the book! Shut up and take my money and give me the damn book! I want it now! I really want it now. Also, this is something I really want to make a point about. This is perhaps the most useful expansion in the game. Gathering of Might. This is Apocalypse for Age of Sigmar. Titanic climatic clashes that define the realms forever. Yeah, so streamlined deployment rules and fighting combats. They streamlined the game when it's massive, because the game when it's massive is clunky as all sin. So they've streamlined it. Sounds like 40k expansions. Kind of agreed. So I've actually had a read of this, and I'm going to read it. I'm going to have a little quick read of this to you, because I think some of what they're saying is kind of hilarious. So, provides a set of simple modifications to the rules. These rules are best suited to big multiplayer games or grudge matches between 2 players with especially large collections. They're designed for multiplayer games in which 2 or more players team up, combining their armies, but you can easily adapt these for a 2-player game. Split the players into sides. Each player commands the models in their army and is allowed to say what they do, of course. We recommend that you do not use pitched battle profiles when choosing armies. Unless you have the timeless patience of Nagash or are simply a glutton for punishment, writing army lists for games of this size can bog things down before you even get... Do you even know this community? We never go without points. If you need even number of units, you're mad. Fine. In addition, the rules for War Scroll Battalion should not be used in these games, even if they qualify. Note that this means that neither side will start the battle with any command points. Fair enough. Each player picks a general, and then one person is the warlord that does all the official dice roll-offs. Setting up, you do it 3 different ways. You've got secret bidding, so you bid how long you need. You then have or you can have joint timers, or you have joint timer behind a screen, and then it goes on a bit more like that. The reactions of the chat say it all. The chat say it all. So much. Yes. I've never been this hyper about an edition release. Never. Never been this hyper. Points of love, points of light. Yeah, I mean, it's taken me 9 months to build it, but I could build lists all day. I built a Daughters of Cain list, which was Basically, how do you play defensive Daughters of Cain? And I built it in 5 minutes for 2k. Building a big army is no challenge whatsoever, particularly in Age of Sigmar, where you don't have a bunch of weapon options and customization. In 40k, building a 5 or 10,000 point list is a chore to do. Doing it in AoS, super easy. Let the hype flow through you. Yeah. There's so much fun in here. And I'm still not done. I'm not done. Finally, for every kind of gamer, the allegiance abilities and summoning are in here as well. So, Darkly Comers, Dispossess, Free Peoples, Fire Slayers, Seraphon, Wanderers, Prayers to the Nash, Slays the Darkness, Game of Blessings, Game of Scrap, Flesh Eater Gods, and Iron Jaws are all getting tweaked, assumedly, allegiance abilities, and all the summoning rules are going to be contained in here as well. Also, that's the list of Jericho. Screw you, that's hilarious. Yeah. You just look around your arm and say, Abhorrent Ghoul King? You just made the list! Full chambers. Oh yeah, the fun you can have doing this. Like, when I had the Sacrosanct Elements for the army, I'm going to be at like 5,500 points. Maybe even 6. I don't know how expensive all the stuff in there is going to be. I'm thinking 200-ish, maybe 250 actually. 200-ish, 100-ish, 100-ish. Probably about 150-ish. Probably about 150-ish. Yeah, I could easily get to like nearly 6,000 points. Well, they got some new paints. So technical paints for painting Nighthorns, which is nice. Spray white, slap on a coat. There's a little bit of a look for you if you want to see. Accessories. So the combat gauge is back. Don't care. New objective markers. That's fun. So loot chests, corn axe buried in a skull, some sort of sundial, tombstone, floating rock thing that looks like it belongs in the Edge Chronicles. If anyone remembers that book series, then mental high five. Yeah. And that's what it needs. Dice. So, terrain tracking dice. Oh my god, can I tell you how many times I forgot to know what terrain does? I cannot tell you how many times I've forgotten what terrain does and just never used it. So, great. Oh, glad you enjoyed the Legion of the Damned video. Glad to hear it. Thank you. Cannot wait to buy every Sacrosanct model and painted like Grey Knights. Fun. Want to use my 10k goes without taking 2.5 years. Precisely. So they've also repatched the scenery rules. They've actually been tweaked ever so slightly. On screen. Yep. So to start your hero phase, you can pick a unit to make a sacrifice, deal D3 mortal wounds, but your reroll wants to hit. Cool. Add 1 to casting and binding rolls within 1 inch. Cool. Add 1 to bravery within 1 inch. Cool. And it's not entirely, it's just within. Roll the dice for each unit that finishes the normal move or charge move within 1 inch on a 1 to D3 mortal wounds. Cool. Roll the dice each time you allocate a wound or mortal wound to a model within 1 inch. On a 6+, the wound or mortal wound is negated. They've completely got rid of on the ones you can't do anything terrain, because that terrain was exceptionally annoying. So they've got rid of it. Good. Subtract 1 of the bravery units whilst they're within 1 inch. Fine, cool, same as it was. Not much of a change. Mainly I'm just glad to see dice for it, because if you actually remember to use them, well, good. Command dice set. So command point trackers, which is something. These are these things over here, as well as nitty status dice that let you check which units have Mystic Shield, have run, have charged. I cannot tell you how useful it would be to remember which units have got Mystic Shield on them, because bloody hell, I forget all the bloody time. So now I won't forget. Good. I have over 9k of CSM. Nice. Bit of gluttons for punishment. Breathe. Have a hype overdose. Nah, I'm good. I do need to cool down a little because it's bloody boiling, but I'm good. I'm not going to run out of breath. I might just take a break for half an hour and give my voice a break after I'm done with this, but I don't give a crap. Also, wound dice that don't roll and don't get picked up. So, wound tracking dice that aren't D6s, because trust me, the amount of times I picked up my wound counter dice and used them again is not even funny. So I don't know if I'm actually going to buy the things, but the fact they exist, I'm very much on board with. Thank you very much, GW, for doing that. Used to be +1. Oh, okay. They have nerfed it then. That's interesting. New models. Somebody mentioned these earlier. So, the Sequitors, the Castigators, the Reavers, Stalkers, sorry, and some other stuff are going to be added in for your armies. So, you can get some Sequitors, including one with a special weapon, though you can't see it. Looks like a Shadespire War Madden if you ask me. Then some Castigators, including Knock Knock, this is apparently Rogel Dawn. Fine. Same here, auto buy. Who doesn't use D20? People who don't own D20s. No, genuinely, I don't own D20s. Yeah, so apparently this is Rogel Dawn. Apparently. I need to take chat down. Bye, chat. Alright, I kind of see it. I kind of see it. A 10 hero, 3,000 point list. Ouch. A Nighthorns that can add a Deathbeat drummer to the Glaive Wraith Stalkers, or the Shrieking Mermorn. Oh, let's try saying that 5 times fast. I can words. Mermorn Banshees with Wizard Hunters who feast on magical energy. Oh my god. They could be units that eat your spells and get buffs off them. That's just unpleasant. But alright. And to finish, all of this will be available on launch. All of it. On launch. Everything I've shown you in this article that's taken me about an hour and a bit to cover is going to be available on launch. Yes, Ghost of Bramlaze, I made that joke first. Get in line. Oh, I know D20s are easy to get, I've just never bothered. Because I wouldn't use them for anything like one model's wound counter. Not worth it. But anyway. So, suffice it to say, I'm going to be pre-ordering Soul Wars, the box set. And I'm also going to be pre-ordering Malign Sorcery. And the General's Handbook. All of it. Oh yeah. I'm pre-ordering all of it. Because I need the book, I need the other book, and I want to give the expansion a go. Because I want to play it immediately. Now, what I will say to you, as a piece of advice, I'll give you a piece of advice now, free piece of advice from Tactica Imperialis. I wouldn't bother buying a Malign Sorcery each. I would suggest to you that your community at home maybe buy one, perhaps two if there's a lot of you, of Malign Sorcery. Because realistically, you don't all need 13 spells. You'll probably only have one or two that you quite like. So you might like the Palisade and the Life Swarm, whilst your opponents might like the Purple Stun and the Burning Head. I don't know. So maybe just buy one or two sets between you, so that you just split them up between you, so the spells you're most likely to use. Unless you're doing experimenting in the early days of the edition, then if you like certain ones that you need to have like 5 of them, well, that's a different kettle of fish. But that would be my advice. Just hold off on all rushing to buy Malign Sorcery. Get the rulebook, get the General's Handbook. They're both absolutely essential. Either get it through Soul Wars or don't really mind which. I'll be getting Soul Wars because I want the Sacrosanct stuff, and I know someone who will get the Nighthorn half of it, that being James, who was on the video with us yesterday. So, that, at last, is everything. And the best part is, I've booked my flight back to England
for the 29th of June. I will get home, and the very next day, because I'm going to stay over with family in another part of England and then go home. The day I get home, I'll walk in the front door, and what will be waiting for me? AoS 2. Perfection. I have never been this hyped for an edition, for a release, for anything in this hobby for a long time. Okay, you want to chat with us later? Sure. I'll hop in the Discord in a bit. I just want my voice to recover once I'm done with this. What's this? Yeah, fine. Yeah, we'll have a chat about that in a bit, so don't worry about it. If you don't want it, then we won't get it. I'll just buy the second stuff on my own time. But I thought I'd say if you want it, we'll split it. But anyway, yeah, this is a hype train that I've never quite had before, because with 40k 8th, I was covering the releases, keeping track of it, but we were coming out of 7th when everything was just a bit meh, and it was a full rework of the game. We didn't know how it was going to behave. We just had AoS to go on, and I was interested, and I was intrigued, and I was looking forward to 40k 8th, and when I got home, I read the bejesus out of it, but I wasn't, like, super hyped. Between Daughters of Cain, Ideneth Deepkin, and now AoS 2, the hype I felt for Age of Sigmar this year has been absolutely amazing. I haven't felt this level of hype in ages, if at all. I know I've been this sort of carried away about stuff before, like, I don't know, I was interested in the Tau Codex, and all sorts of other stuff, but this level of hype, it's been a while. AoS 2 could be utterly amazing. Just between everything, yeah. How do you think Khorne will do? We'll see what the points come out as, of course, that's important. But I'm thinking, in games where you're not playing Malign Sorcery, Khorne will do relatively well. There's a big buff to heroes in more than one place. You've got a bit more ability to lock down shooting armies with fast-moving units. And generally you're just not in a bad spot to begin with. Obviously the battle plans and all that stuff, we'll see. But in Malign Sorcery, I worry for how Khorne will hold up. But in non-Malign Sorcery games, which will be tournament games, I think Khorne will do alright. It might get a little bit better, but we'll have to see how it all shakes out. But, oh, flipping out. And now I've got hiccups. That's probably an indicator I should end the stream soon. So yeah, let's have a few last couple of minutes, maybe like 5 or 10 more minutes, get last questions, last ideas and thoughts in, and then we'll call it a stream. So are you looking forward to AoS 2 now? Have I sufficiently built the hype for you? Are you going to be pre-ordering? What are you going to be pre-ordering? Are you going to wait for it to come out, wait and see? Just give me your thoughts. I'm very interested to see what you have to say. And if you're not part of the Discord yet, there'll be a link that was around earlier in the chat. You can just scroll back up to find it, or whatever, and you can join us later. We'll be having discussions about it. I might not be there immediately because, yeah, I've been talking for like 2 hours now, but that's fine. So, yeah, just get your thoughts in and all that stuff, and I'll be interested to get your opinions because, yeah, it's good vibes. It's good vibes. Waiting for Sanesh, very hyped, endless AoS 2 endless spell Boogaloo, kind of want Nurgle now. No, don't fall for Nurgle. Hype is real, may even survive Exterminators. Oh dear. I mean, this is such a good hype train, and I've heard that there's areas of the community that are really just crapping on AoS 2 and not giving it time and like just bombing it before it's come out, and I don't get it. Like, how can you be bombing this with all the stuff they're doing? What point value do you think the new starter set armies will be? I'm going in the range of about 1,000 to 1,500 because a Lord Arcanum I compared to a Lord of Kilo who's 200 points.
Sequitors I compared to Liberators, who are 100 points for 5, so let's go with 150. Casticators will compare them to Judicators, are about 150, a little bit more maybe. Evocators, that's compared to Paladins, so about 150, 200 points for 3. The Knight Incantor, I'm thinking about 120. And then the Celestar, I have no real comparison point, but I do the quick math, so 200, 150, 150, so that's 500. Another 200, another 120. That's, yeah, it's probably about 1,000. I'm going to go with about 1,000, maybe a little bit more. I'll hardly pre-order, but I have an exam on the 18th. I'm buying something if that goes well. Good on you, Vodrum. Good idea. I think it's the perfect time to buy in. I agree, it's like the perfect time. If you're gonna buy in, do it now. Actually, I've just learned something. So, this has potentially come out of the Stormcast podcast, which I haven't had a chance to watch. The core rulebook is apparently going to be 18 pages. 1-8. Apparently. Which is more than 4, but it's plenty. It's not loads, it's enough. I think it's good. Just thought I'd let you know before we sign off. To quote another internet meme, your level of hype is over 9,000. Gonna explode, calm down. But seriously, all this sounds awesome. Gonna cost an arm and a leg, but I can play with one hand. No, not that you're not allowed, Nurgle, but, well, you've spoken before about not wanting to do it. But, well, I can't stop you. If you want to go with Nurgle, go with Nurgle. But you've moaned enough about Nurgle in the Discord that it's like, are you sure you want to go over to the dark side? Just read about the army players and they look like fun, do them. Exactly. Just look over the armies, and if you want to start a new project, look at what's available, read the lore when it comes out, make your decision and go for it. Like, I'm probably not going to do that particularly because I've made my decisions about things I want to do, but I could be convinced to do something else. I don't know. We'll see. May the Necrons be with you. Dang. Dark side might have cookies, but it's the dark side. Enough said. Anything else before we wrap up? Because we're coming up to 10 o'clock now my time, so we might just wrap it up soon. God damn it, guys. Anticlimactic question, which AoS army is the cheapest to build? Probably anything in a starter box, like Stormcast, Nighthorns will probably be quite easy, get a decent army out of the box, but we haven't seen the price of the boxes. A lot of the old armies are probably actually relatively decent value as well. I'm not sure, in all truth. Beastclaw's probably not bad, because you don't need many models. What don't you like about AoS 2? I don't think there's anything I can say I objectively don't like. I'm concerned about the power of double turn. I'm concerned about the power of summoning, and I'm concerned particularly if you don't really worry, even if you don't count malign sorcery, about the power of magic versus shooting. I have concerns, and I think a few of the models, like the Roiling Gravetide, looks a little bit derpy, but I have no real complaints. Like, no, like, out and out, this is bad. There's nothing I can say, this is bad. I don't approve of this change. The changes are thematic, they are flavourful, they might not be balanced, but they're thematic and flavourful, and at the end of the day, I like that as much as anybody else does. So there you go. All fine and dandy, but the new trailer was not memey enough. 7.8 out of 10. Oh, by the way, speaking of that trailer, did you see that Stormcast winged goat thingy? I want that model, and I want it now. Anyway, enough said. We're going to call it a stream there. So, if you have enjoyed the stream, make sure to, well, if you wish to leave a like and subscribe, you are more than welcome to do that. I really, really hope you enjoyed the stream. You got on board the AoS 2 hype train with me, and I do hope you enjoyed it. So let me know if you've been watching in post, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you are here watching live, then feel free to join the Discord, and you can have a chat either with me or with each other there. I'm probably going to go get another shower because it's warm. Anyway, thank you very much for coming out to the stream. I do hope you enjoyed it. It's been an absolute pleasure talking with you guys, getting hyped, and getting on board with all of that stuff. Because, I don't know, there's something about just talking about stuff, bouncing ideas off, getting involved, theory crafting. It's so much fun, damn it. It's so much fun. Yeah. Can't someone who needs a price increase. Right. Good to know. So yes, thank you very much for watching the stream, everybody. This has been Tactica Imperialis, and I'll see you very, very soon on the stream, probably at the weekend, where we'll go over all the other fun stuff. So, thank you very much for watching, guys. I'll see you all very, very soon. Good night.